Hey you guys, it's Rachel here with Senza Tempo Cane Corso. So, I'm gonna do the Brooke Houts situation. Everyone keeps messaging me this. Good Lord, you guys, I'm doing it. Here's my opinion. This is what I think. I watched the video. I didn't watch any response videos because it's like whatever. But I did watch the video. I also went back and I watched her real morning routine, which I found to be very insightful. First of all, in the morning routine video, she allows the dog to jump all over the furniture, to jump all over her, and she doesn't do anything about it. So the behavior that we saw the dog exhibiting in the video where she hits and tackles and spits on the dog is the same behavior the dog was already exhibiting and she was perfectly fine with. So what we can conclude from this is that what she did really had nothing to do with the dog, because the dog was being the normal self. What I found to be the most interesting was the fact that she spit on the dog. Spitting on something in anger is probably one of the few things that really shows disgust. It's a very deep-rooted, just like, behavior. It really means that you're disgusted with somebody. You really just like, you think they're beneath you. And I don't really necessarily think that she felt that way about the dog. Because like I said, the dog wasn't behaving any differently than normal, right? Like why can we direct that energy towards the dog when the dog was doing what the dog always does? This tells me that something else triggered this response in her. She was clearly, from the video, very emotionally unstable. She was trying her best to be as fake as possible for the video, or as professional as possible, if you will. Because some people consider that professionalism, while somebody like me considers that to be fake. But nonetheless, she's trying to collect herself. She's, hey guys, whatever. And the dog is just being the dog. And then she just, freaks out on the dog. The way that she responded reminded me in behavior to that of like a toddler, like an angry toddler, just, nah, you know what I mean? Like, she wasn't punching the dog, she wasn't kicking the dog, she wasn't, like, usually in abuse cases, the behavior is extremely intense and hurtful, and is designed to inflict damage. What she was doing wasn't that. It doesn't make it okay, it doesn't make it any less abusive, but it does tell me a little bit about maybe the cause of the behavior. I watched, like I said, that video and a couple others, and what I did find about her was that her channel really didn't stand out as anything to be original. Like, there was nothing that she was really doing that wasn't being done by many other people around her same age right now on YouTube. And I wonder I've often wondered if that kind of content over time has a negative effect on a person's psyche, because you're not being yourself, you are copying what other people are doing, and you're presenting this facade for success. And it's not like an actor, where an actor can do a movie and then they go on and they get to be themselves. These people have to live and breathe this. There's no break, right? It's not like a 8-hour job, or even as extensive, like I said, as a movie. I mean, these people have decided to be this person. And unfortunately, and the reason for that is because when you get popular, people can see you, right? An actor doesn't need to be his role out in normal day life because they know that's not who he is. But a YouTuber that isn't being themselves can't risk being themselves out in public because they could get exposed. So they have to be that persona at all times. And I'm quite sure that that must be very draining on an individual's self-esteem and developing mind, as these are often younger YouTubers that are doing this. So I don't know if what we saw was a mental breakdown that was more of a reflection of how maybe she felt about herself and less about how she felt about the dog. I'm not sure. We can speculate, but there's no way to know. But what I can say is that I think now people probably see her for who she is, and she probably may be forced to not do that anymore. I mean, Lord forbid we live in a time where she's able to go and rescue a dog or go to a shelter and do some volunteering and, you know, maybe donate some money, and then we all move past this. I really, really genuinely hope that we're not going to do that. But who knows? You know what I'm saying? Am I saying that the dog should be taken from her? I don't know. Like I said, she didn't really severely damage the dog. I'm wondering if maybe, you know, some respite from the dog, and maybe some, like, somebody could take the dog and kind of like do some counseling with her and really show her how to work with the dog. Maybe that would work. I don't know. You know, because I work with a lot of people that are at their last wits with their dogs, I've seen a lot of people admit to me that they've lost their temper with their dogs before, and they don't want to do that, and that's why they contact me. And I give them the tools necessary to be able to work with the dog, and it's not an issue anymore. So it's hard for me to not have some part of my heart that is available for a person to redeem themselves, to do the work and redeem themselves and move past that. But I do think that that is going to involve some serious self-reflection on her part, because in order for her to be able to manage that dog, she's going to have to manage her emotions first. You can't be an overly emotional, reactive person and have a powerful breed like a Doberman. They will not respond well to that. And so I think that she learned that. Like I said, I don't know what will happen. The state of California, I believe, will take care of that on their own. So it's really, none of us have any say over the matter anyway. But I also think that when I was watching the video of the dogs jumping all over the furniture, what I found interesting was that nobody had a problem with her allowing her dog to do things that were not going to be constructive for that dog's, you know, longevity as far as like living in her home and being a trained animal. You know, there, unfortunately, when you don't train your dogs, when you do have a bad day, or maybe something horrible happens, maybe you have a divorce and you are just emotionally checked out, and you have this dog that is just, you know, can't be controlled and it's all over the place, the likelihood is that you're going to lose your temper and you're going to do something that you shouldn't do. Or maybe that you even would regret later. But that's why early training is important, because when a well-trained dog sees its owner kind of not feeling well or whatever, they usually will just go tuck themselves away. They'll just go sit somewhere and they'll go mind their business, and they know, not gonna mess with them, just gonna leave them alone, you know, whatever. An untrained dog doesn't really know how to behave, and so they can have anxiety, they can be freaking out. I mean, there's so many reasons why the dog could be trying to you know, to act out in the situation where the human, their energy isn't quite right. And so it really pays to have a well-trained dog for your whole life, because you never know what's going to happen in your life. And I do think that she hit one of those moments, and she had been allowing her dog to do these things that are unhealthy, that ultimately did lead to her getting upset, right? Letting a dog jump all over you is not a good thing, because there will be a time when when you're in a bad mood and you don't want somebody jumping on you, or maybe their nails get too long and it scratches you and you overreact and you get mad. You know, there's so many things that can happen, and that's why it's imperative that you have a well-trained dog. That way those situations don't come to play. And unfortunately, that's not what happened in that case. And there is some shared blame to go along with this, because what I find, and it's very irritating to someone like me, is when you go on to Facebook pages for pets, or you look on to other YouTube channels that are like more happy-go-lucky, and it's, you know, it's all about positivity and this and that, and they just let their dogs kind of do whatever. And it's cute, you know, when the dogs do funny things that are really they shouldn't be doing, like maybe they come home and the dog is like on top of the dining room table and they stop to take a picture or do a little video, or, you know, the dog is like walking on the back of the couch. Oh, how cute, you know, it's so funny. And they allow the dogs to get away with doing things that they shouldn't do. And it's like, when you support that by giving it likes, by saying, oh, that's so cute, you're encouraging that kind of behavior that ultimately leads to those dogs getting in trouble, because those rules are typically set for a reason, right? There's a reason we don't want the dogs on the back of the couches, because they can ruin the couch. They can scratch whatever it is or ruin the fabric. And so if you're in a bad mood and the dog gets up there and he just so happens to that one time put a tear in the couch, you're gonna flip out because you're not in your right state of mind. And that's why it's important we have rules and boundaries. So I think that this is a lesson for all of us in how to proactively participate in the online pet community. We need to set higher standards of behavior and expectations for entertainers that have their animals on screen. That way we know that they can control their animals and the animals are going to be safe, because a well-trained animal is typically a well taken care of an animal. Pardon me, I can't talk. Because the individual took the time to spend with that dog, and that's what the indication there. So I think it's important that we all take a step back and not just be like, blame, 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 shame, shame, shame. I think that we all kind of sit back and take a little bit of personal responsibility for the fact that there's a large portion of the pet community that allows that kind of behavior and actually thinks it's kind of cute. Okay? So that's all I have to say about it. I hope you guys are having a really good day, and I'll talk at you later. Bye!